Hi, I'm Joe Arroyo, and I want to share with you, I know it's a big deal when you take that step to refer a client of yours to my team and I. So I want to let you know what happens when you've passed off that referral and we're either giving the client a call or the client is calling us. Preferably, we like to give the client a call because it helps us to initiate that process and make sure it gets moving forward. But regardless, what happens when that call goes out is that we're looking to get enough information over about 10 to 15 minutes on the phone to understand what the goals and objectives of the client are and how we really need to interact with them relationally. And we also want to gather enough information to do an initial pre-qualification letter if you're at that stage and need it right away. We enter them into our 8x8 program, which is once a week for 8 weeks. We're making sure that we are reaching out to that person and just really cultivating them from a prospect into a client, which, let me tell you something, that not only helps my retention, but it helps your client retention as well, because we do that very tactfully with a high level of service. And our third goal on that 10 to 15 minute phone call is we want to schedule an appointment with that client, with that prospective client. And our goal is always to bring them in one-on-one. Listen, relationally is always best. We want to look them in the eye and we want to discuss in real time what their objectives are, what their finances are, and what options are available for them to be able to meet those objectives and goals. And we want to look at that right then and there, because if we do, we're able to typically submit them right away into our 7-day clear to close process, which means they're going to get underwritten within 24 hours and cleared to close in 6 more days. So a total of 7 days cleared to close. But whether they choose to come in person or not, which is always our preference, but listen, we're here to serve the client. Not every client wants to do that. We're okay with it. We can meet with them via phone, we can meet with them via Skype. And I also have a super cool software that's called Mortgage Coach, which allows me to share my screen in real time with theirs to go over personalized mortgage information and numbers and scenarios and so on, so we can talk through a strategy and really make sure that we connect there and connect with the clients. Let them know what the process will be, what kind of documents we're going to need to get and how those documents need to look and what form they need to come in and so on, so we can begin to prepare them for the mortgage process, which, as you know, is a detailed, involved process, we should say. And so we can do that whether it be by phone, computer, or in person. Again, we prefer that in person. But our goal is you get this person in, and within 3 days, we're in front of them one way or the other, whether that be, again, via phone or in person, and to get them then submitted for that 7-day clear to close process. Now, here's the advantage for you and the client. No more work for the client than they have to do in any other mortgage application. In fact, we've put in systems to streamline and make things as easy as possible. But the advantage is now they've gotten all the work out of the way, so we're not asking them for documents the week before closing when everything's boxed up. But you also, as an agent, have a very powerful competitive advantage in your hand. You have a letter that says your client has been fully approved pending only appraisal and title. So Mr. and Ms. Seller, as long as your house is worth what you say it's worth, as long as it appraises, and as long as you actually have permission to sell it, you have clear title, then my client's a buyer. And what we're seeing in this competitive market is that it's as close to cash as you can get without it actually being cash. And it's getting our contracts won over others, even when our contract might not be the highest and best offer for all the other variables on the contract, because that's how powerful that letter is. That's the process that we execute nearly 70% of the time for our realtor partners. We want to make sure you know how it works, because we want to put this process to benefit, this unfair advantage to benefit to you and your clients. Please feel free to reach out to us, 703-463-8250, 703-463-8250. My contact information is on the bottom of the screen. Any questions or requests, please feel free to ask. We look forward to working with you and engaging with you on your next transaction.